Crowley goes wild. 4
Okay.
touchdowns. Great game. They open it up. They start feeling real good for themselves. Coach Joseph got a hold to them now. They got some victories up on them. I'm gonna take Grambling in a big one.
All right, Coach. Look like by my count, they're 3-4, and they're headed to H time.
Ain't no problem. Grambling by 2 touchdowns at least.
All right. They 500 going into the last 3 games of the season.
Woo.
And they have to travel to Bethune-Cookman.
A storm is blowing in. Bethune-Cookman's second year. I heard their recruit class is outstanding. Again, they got to get things going. Man, I'm in the dark on this one, Coach. I'm in the dark.
Can we get some help, Bishop?
Hey, I'm going to have to take. Listen. Here's a fun fact. The only HBCU team that beat Grambling during their championship run was Bethune-Cookman. Bethune-Cookman has had tremendous success against Grambling the last 4 times. I think they've only lost once. Yeah. So I'm going to have to take Bethune-Cookman.
I'm going to ride with you, Coach. I'm going to ride with you.
All right.
I'm about to fight. Put him back up there, Coach.
Carlos Johnson.
Call in, man. Don't be texting. Call in and tell me why I'm hating on my alma mater. All right. Call on in. All right. You might have some information that I know. I mean, we don't know. Okay, we go. Alabama State. No, I got to go with the Hornets, baby. By that time, Andre Body, Carlos, Texas Southern guy, he gonna be thrilling. He gonna be setting it on fire. He'll be settled into the offense. He throws the long ball great. I gotta go with the Hornets.
All right, and then we got Alabama A&M. This is maybe a situation where Coach Maynard is trying to save his job.
He won't save it that game. I got Graham. I got Grambling. By that time, Coach Dooley and Coach Joseph and the staff have been gelling. The team. And see, one thing, the good thing about coming in that first year with a team, they don't ever stop fighting because they understand it's a tomorrow. You know what I mean? So even though it's late in the season, they still gonna come out and play. As opposed to a team like Alabama, the coach has been there, the program has got a little stale, and by that time when you get down there, man, everybody knows just about where everybody gonna be.
Let me count these wins, Coach, going into the Bayou Classic. So we got 1, we got 2, we got 3 with the upset, we got 4, we got 5, we got 6 at Alabama A&M. Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh man, Coach. Knowing the West, he could be going into the Bayou Classic, playing for a spot in the SWAC championship, Coach.
Look, I got him at number 4. I had Southern, right? I had Prairie View, right? And I had who was number 3 for me?
Alcorn.
So I'm right on point, Coach. I'm right on point. So it's up to the other teams to make it interesting.
So who you got at the Bayou Classic, Coach?
Woo, Coach, preseason. I'm gonna take the G-Man, Coach. I gotta go with Mickey Joseph. Hey, look, I gotta go with one of my understudies.
Oh man.
The other one is under Pete Richardson. Terrence Graves is under Pete Richardson. Mickey Joseph is under my tutelage.
Hey, before I take this down, I gotta get a Bishop opportunity to respond to some of these picks.
Well, here's the thing. I picked Prairie View, so I'm going to take Prairie View.
Oh, starting from the top, Coach. You're cheating me, Steve.
No, I didn't know. Yeah, we can go right from the top. There's no problem. It is no problem. So I'm with Coach with the Raging Cajuns. Grambling going to take that L first game with no problem. I think they got Tuskegee that next game, right?
Yeah.
I like Grambling in that game. Third game, we've got Texas A&M Commerce. They only won 1 game last year. The G-Men have got to get that W. just for the swag and things like that. So I'm gonna take the G-men.
I gave them that game.
Yeah, no, you did. Yeah, you did. I'm just saying that. I'm just reemphasizing they got to win that game. They really need to win that game for so many reasons. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I've got Jackson State, but let me tell you something. The whole has been the house of horrors for Jackson State last couple of years. And all I'm saying is if Miles Crawley gets hot, with this game being on ESPN Plus, I'm going to circle that game. But I got Jackson State in a close one, actually.
Hey, Carlos, you on there? You there?
Carlos,
hello, Carlos. Hold on, man. My bad.
Can you?
Yeah. I'll have you on in a second.
Yeah, okay.
So we've got Prairie View down there in that classic. I'm going to take Prairie View. Alcorn coming down to Grambling once again. I don't know. I got to go with those big bad Braves. My nephew G was on there. I'm about to go with those big bad Braves. Arkansas Pine Bluff homecoming. Everybody comes back. Go eat that good boudin. Got to go with Grambling on that one.
That's 3.
Texas Southern. I got to go with Grambling against Texas Southern. Bethune-Cookman. I'm going with Bethune-Cookman. Going with Bethune. Alabama State. This is my upset special right here. So, Coach, this is the one I'm calling the upset. You call Prairie View. I'm calling this game right here.
Put the D.
Hey, listen. I'm telling you, I'm calling this one. This is my upset special. The G-men come out on top, and this is what knocks Alabama State out the East.
Ooh, so you get
I'm calling it. I'm just telling you something. Again, that G, and if they're rolling coming in that game, and with that Grambling G, like I said, I believe in Coach Joe. I think those boys are ready to play. Alabama A&M, I've already said that Alabama A&M is going to go win 2 conference games, so this is not 1-2. I'm taking Grambling on that. And then in the Bayou Classic, I'm taking Grambling.
7. I had them 6-5. You got them 7.
No. You have them 7-4, Coach.
I had him 7-4. Oh, my win was my difference between him was the Alabama.
No, you have them. They by my count they had 12 games, Coach. Maybe,
yeah, 12.
Yeah, they got 12 games. So
okay.
So you have them 7-5, and you have them 6-6, right? This count
5, 6. Yep, I got 6-6.
So this is what I think. This is just my opinion. They're gonna take an L against ULM. They're gonna win the next 2 games. They're gonna lose to Jackson State. They're gonna lose to Prairie View. They're gonna lose to Alcorn, and they're gonna go into homecoming on a slide. Right?
Right.
Gonna go to homecoming on a slide. I believe he's gonna. The G-men are gonna pull it out, and they're gonna go on a winning streak. And I believe they're gonna beat Bethune-Cookman.
Okay.
Coming off that winning streak, right?
I did too.
All right. So then we got Alabama State. That's a no-brainer. I got Alabama A&M, and I also think
time out, Coach.
No. They're gonna beat Alabama A&M. They're gonna beat.
I'm talking about Alabama State. Who's gonna win that?
Oh, come on, Coach. Andrew
he says no-brainer.
Buddy!
It's Andrew Buddy train over here.
Yeah. And then we got they'll beat Alabama A&M, and they'll finish off Southern as well. And I got them coming in at 6-6 as well, Coach. But just a different combination of 6-6. How they recover from this stretch of games tells how they recover. I pretty much know how they're gonna do, right? I think they're gonna lose all 3 of these games. But if they can dig out of that hole and come back on the back half of their season and play well, they can go into the next season with a lot of momentum. Coach, if not, Coach Joseph could be in for a tough season.
Put those 3 games up you're talking about. Now remember, I know Jackson State, Jackson State, PV, and Alcorn. Now you remember they got the baddest quarterback in the conference now. You think Crowley gonna let them win 3 games lose 3 games in a row? Okay, yes. That's all I had to say. Can we get the call on that?
Yeah, we get the call on that.
They're gonna win one of them 3.
Caller, you're live on the air.
How you doing, sir? All 3 of you.
Good. What's your name and where you calling from?
Benjamin, Houston, by means of the Open Mic Network.
By means of the who?
First of all,
Open Mic Network.
Open Mic Network. Go ahead.
Well, can I say one thing? Thank you for calling. Thank you for being a part of our show. And we definitely look for being a part of your show.
All right, I appreciate that. First of all, I wanted to say that I enjoy listening to all three of you. I think you've been very objective. So that's the first thing. What I wanted to ask is, I want to just ask a question, just sit back and listen, especially from the gentleman from Florida A&M, but from all of you. Is there any possible way that you can think that a West team will host the championship this year? Now, I know, Coach, from past TSU, you're a little hating on Prairie View, but it's all good. But if you can just give me a rational thought, open-minded thought, why which team from the West could host the SWAC championship, I'll sit back and listen.
Let me answer that one first, because yeah. And let me ask him
something. And let me ask him something.
Oh, okay.
You hung up yet?
No. He's still on.
No, sir.
Now, do you know how the team become the host of the game?
Yes, I do. And so I was hoping a person from Texas Southern didn't answer that question, but if somebody else could answer, I appreciate it.
Okay. Go ahead, Coach.
Well, here's the thing. Prairie View, to me, because of the way their schedule lines up, has the ability to host that game. I'm going to tell you the reason why. If they say what they think they are, okay? They play FAMU there, and they play Alabama State at Montgomery. You win those two games, you host the SWAC championship game. Point blank, period.
Correct.
But with that being said, that means you will have one of the best seasons in Prairie View's history. So the question I would ask you, do you have the team to achieve that? Because that's what that means. Now, I said you're winning the West. I didn't say you're hosting the game. I believe you will win the West. But for you to host the game, you beat Florida A&M because you would have the head-to-head if they won the East. And if you beat Alabama State, if they won the East, you had the head-to-head. So that, to me, would bode well for you to have those two games. So that's the only way. Matter of fact,
okay.
Prairie View's the only team.
Okay. So to give you the benefit of the doubt, I know you were trying to express yourself against one of my counterparts. Can you hear me?
Yeah. We're right here.
Okay. I know you. I don't want to take too much time, but I know you were expressing yourself against one of my counterparts who could not answer your question as far as who the quarterback is. And so what I wanted to tell you personally, I think we're going to take what Willie Simmons did for Florida A&M and keep everything close to the chest. Not give anybody any bulletin board information, because I think you being from FAMU, you know how quiet he kept everything to the chest. And so when we play Texas Southern, coach from past coach from TSU, you know at that time who the quarterback is. And since you picked Grambling, I don't want to give them any bulletin board material. But being from Fort Worth, they're going to know who the quarterback is also. So I was just asking a question. I'm not saying Prairie View will host the SWAC championship game at PV. I hope they do. But I'm just saying, can you just see a way for a SWAC West team to host it? And, Coach, I invite you to section one. One last thing, Coach. I invite you to section 109, row 14, season ticket 1, 2, 3, 4. At any time you want to come to the Texas Southern game this year, I got a seat for you if you want to sit there.
Well, may I answer to that, since you've been calling me out? I sit up in the sweet box. I sit up in the sweet box with a barbecue. I sit up in the sweet box with.
Well, I can get you some. I can get you some barbecue if you want some.
Yeah,
I can get you some barbecue. I'm not talking.
And then I go up on top where the owner sits at in the private box. So and I've been to the last.
Sir, I've been in the presidency. I've been in the president's box, but my point is, my wife is from Texas Southern, so I'm holding it out for Texas Southern also. But I know you have a little more gusto when it comes to Prairie View. So I'm just saying, if you want to come, I have 4 seats for you. And then as far as the gentleman from Florida A&M, I really appreciate how you're very objective. You're not just, to me, I don't think you're a biased gentleman. So I'm just saying, from a team standpoint, I think they know who the quarterback is. And soon, the SWAC West is going to know.
What's your name, sir, again?
Benjamin.
Benjamin. let me say this. You gave Steve, one of my guys, and he said, if y'all do that, that's the best season y'all have ever had, right? That's not the best season. They had the greatest season.
That's what he said.
Right. Y'all had the greatest season in 2009 when you went 9-1 and you had beat Grambling for almost 30-some years. So not only it wouldn't be the greatest season because the greatest season was in 2009. So I just wanted to add that to you.
Coach,
And
if they win the game, wait a minute, hold on now, Coach. If they win the game that I said, well, wait a minute now, they're gonna be like 10-2 going to the Celebration Bowl.
Yeah, but you was talking about who.
Well, I'm just saying
Alabama State has never been that time.
I'm just saying on my tagline, I have us going 9-2 this year.
Okay.
Well, let me ask you this. You know who the quarterback is at Prairie View.
No, I would not. No. First of all, I would not say that I know. Yeah, I don't know who it is. Coach Bubba knows who it is.
Rocky, can you put our standings up there? Because just like I have to talk about Coach Green, I'm gonna let Mr. Benjamin know where Coach at. Where do I got you at, Coach? Benjamin, where I got you at? Come on, man. I don't hate Prairie View. I love Prairie View. Them my people down there.
No, Coach. I'm not even. Coach, I saw that last week, and I saw how y'all tried to destroy my boy, everybody against TV. So I'm not gonna be like him. But what I am gonna say is, I just heard you say we're gonna lose to Grambling, and they cheated last year when they beat us. But I'm just gonna go back and say I enjoy your show. I think y'all are very objective, and I look forward to us playing FAMU again.
I thank you, Benjamin.
Hey, thanks for listening and thanks for calling in, Benjamin. Again, these.
Yes, sir. Yeah, have a good one.
So that brings us back to, and I want to talk about this for a second. Brings us back to this. Our prediction, Coach. Let me bring the East. All right. So let's just talk about the West right quick. We're pretty consistent on who we think the best two teams in the East are. The West are, right? We think Alcorn and Prairie View are. We're willing to select Prairie View as one of the top teams in the West without knowing who their quarterback is. That's how much we think of that program.
Right.
Without knowing who that quarterback is, it's hard for us to pick, for me, to pick them over Alcorn, knowing that Tyler Macon is coming in with experience and has some success on the field as a backup. That's the issue that we're, that's the decision process that we're going through. Now, for whatever reason, Mr. Campbell feels confident that Coach McDowell is going to have those boys ready to play, and he's going to find a quarterback that's going to be able to execute it in the SWAC and come away with some victories, or he thinks their schedule is so favorable that it's more favorable than Alcorn. But I'll let him explain himself as to why he thinks Prairie View is the better team.
Well, let me say this. This is what first of all, Shady Grove Bears, who I believe is a Grambling Tiger. Yeah, you caught what he said. He said that y'all cheated them. You see how that Prairie View person slid that in there. But let me say something what I love about Prairie View people. They are almost as bad as the Alabama State people. They feel this is their time. Have y'all noticed they have called in more on our show than they called in the last 2 years? And then they are feeling themselves. Coach, they are. Do you hear me? They are feeling themselves. The man said the man wanted to give you a ticket to your alma mater. Now that's really feeling themselves.
Coach, can I add one thing? Man, I sit on top of the president when I go to that game. I sit with the owner of the game. I don't sit down there. I sit on top of with the president, with the owner of the game. But let me ask Benjamin, is he still on?
No, we got another caller. Let's go to that caller right now. Caller, you're live on the air with HBCU Coaches Corner. What's your name and where you calling from?
Walter Harley, calling from all the way from Maryland.
Ooh.
Maryland, it's a long way.
Hey man, listen, hey Rocky, pull up. Can you pull up his comment? Because he made a little interesting comment. I missed on Scotty's feed. Can you see his comment?
Yeah. Who made the comment?
Walter Harley. I think this is the person that calls. That's on the phone right now.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, pull his comment up because I got a question about this. Go ahead, Walter.
Well, first of all, I'm calling to let y'all know I do enjoy the show, and it's one of the new shows that's out there in terms of supporting HBCU. But last night's show, I was kind of disappointed when you're trying to take the new coach from South Carolina down a rabbit's hole. And I appreciate Mr. Campbell for showing the class that he has as being a rattler and not falling down that rabbit's hole. I think what y'all should do as a new show is try to get as many HBCU coaches on so they can feel comfortable coming on your show and talking about their programs, especially the new coaches, versus trying to lead them down a rabbit hole to get them to answer questions that they're not able to answer, especially if they are new coaches at their school.
Well,
So
okay, what rabbit hole? What rabbit hole are you talking about, Walter?
Well, the rabbit hole is when they were trying to get coach from South Carolina State. His last name is slipping me right now.
Berry, Coach Berry.
Kenneth Berry.
To try to say something somewhat negative about FAMU last night, and Mr. Campbell wasn't going for that. He was just being straight up a commentator, an interviewer, and he was not allowing his bias or being a rattler interfere with him having a great interview. And I love the interview. I love it. But I just don't like how you try to take some of these slide questions and get coaches in these corners to make statements. You did it a little bit tonight with the coach at Grambling. You did it just a little bit tonight, but he has a lot more experience dealing with the media.
Well, let me say this. Are you talking about the question I asked about he almost was coaching against his opening game, was almost coaching against someone he coached against in the SIAAC who was up for the job at FAMU, and ultimately the people of FAMU decided they didn't want coach, that coach? Is that the
Absolutely.
question you're talking about?
Absolutely.
So okay.
Absolutely.
So this is what okay. think about this. I think
now before you answer that, I'm not SWAC, so I have no loyalty.
No.
I'm not me. I have no loyalty, but I am HBCU.
So this is what I wanted. This is what the purpose of that question. I wanted to find out did Coach Berry know that was a potential, right? And it sounded like Coach Berry was aware that could have been the case. And then I wanted him to talk about what kind of coach. What's the coach name that y'all didn't want?
Coach
Yeah,
Gibbs.
I wanted to know what kind of Coach Gibbs was, because I didn't know what kind of Coach Gibbs was. And I wanted Coach Berry to talk about Coach Gibbs a little bit and tell us what kind of coach he was. And that's how I made it relevant, because one of our biggest shows on this channel ever was talking about the situation at FAMU. We got over 6,000 viewers talking about that situation. And so it was important to somebody. And so I wanted to bring it up and see if Coach Berry was aware of what happened. The same way it seems like everybody else in the HBCU land had an opinion. I just wanted to see if Coach Berry had an opinion. And I thought it was.
Go ahead.
Well, you know, coaches that are, and this is just my opinion, coaches that are out there trying to produce winning programs don't have a lot of time for that. They might get that information by a second party or a third party. But I can guarantee you the new coach at FAMU this year, he's blocking out a lot of the media things that's coming his way. He knows all the things that happen at FAM because he was one of the assistant coaches, but blocking out a lot of those things.
You cut out.
Oh man.
Well, what I wanted to do was piggyback off of you, Rocky. That's our job. You know, I'm on the other side of the table now, and our job is to get those type, because our people who's watching us, they want to know, and that's our job. Our job is to dig, and see that's what that's what we're here for, to ask those questions. When you're a head football coach, you're a CEO. You are the guy. You got to know everything about your program and about your opponents. Ain't no question. And if you don't, shame on you. Because when they come into where you play at or where you are, you got to know what that coach thinks, how he's going to try to attack you, where he's came from. Because if when you take over a job, when I take over a job and we look at our schedule and there's a new coach that's coming in, whoever he hired, we go chase down their film. If he hire an offense coordinator from Nebraska, we trying to get Nebraska film. If he hire a defense coordinator from Ohio State, we trying to run down Ohio State's film. So that's what we do, Coach. We answer the hard questions.
Let me respond to Mr. Harley. First of all, I appreciate you watching the show. That is awesome. We appreciate it. Well, Mr. Harley, you're right. Those two guys on this screen was being messy. You're right, Mr. Harley. I'm not going to let them get away with it. You saw it, and I saw it too. And see, you got that guy from Texas Southern, that cameraman trying to be slick, and then you got that PWI guy. But see, me, the loyal HBCU guy, I wasn't going to let Chisholmberry fall that hole. Thank you, Mr. Harley. I'm glad you saw that. See, we know that. So, but no, we just joke around. And I want to be clear. With this show, we're going to give all different types of opinions. We're all going to bring our own life experience. So with that being said, I do joke, but one thing we do not do, we don't do anything with any malice intent. And I want to be clear also, you got to understand something. Coach Cole has a relationship with Coach Berry. But see, be clear, all these coaches, Coach Cole knows. So this is not something that coaches are afraid to come on the show. That's why they come on the show, because of Coach Cole. But I do say that as joking. And the reason why I did turn it, because they had gotten, there's no need to be asked the third question when they asked the first two questions about Coach Gibbs. What I wanted to do, because they actually set up the question I asked was about the game between FAMU and South Carolina State, which he did talk to directly, which I appreciate, and things like that. So, Mr. Harley, I do appreciate you catching that. But yeah, one thing about us, we never do anything with malice, and we have a lot of fun on this show when we talk to these coaches. And I will say this, because I will say, and I was being messy with Coach E. Rob about the cute thing. He knew exactly where that came from. So that was a mess. We do have a little fun, because we know a lot of people personally and stuff like that. So we will have fun with these guys, and they appreciate it too, because they like the lightheartedness of what we do over here.
Yeah, we ride Steve, because he'll ride it through and through, man. And we ride him, and we just hey, we joking around, but we just trying to get the business out. And again, this is the first show. If somebody can call in and tell us that you actually getting to meet Black college coaches, head coaches, besides from Media Day, which I don't know the numbers that they get. Rocky, maybe we can find that out. The numbers they get, they can't come and talk openly as they can come on this show and get out. Because one of the things, the people who's after them are just trying to find out things. We don't find them out. We already don't know. And I always can give a perspective, a coach's perspective. Steve can give a fan perspective, and Rocky can give the outside perspective of when we rap to these coaches. And we're coming at them in three different ways, So I think, where we are and what we're trying to establish here is I'll take a word out of your conversation, Steve. It's not malice at all, and it's never that. Gibbs' name might not ever get mentioned, but we giving him some love, and I'm gonna call down there and get him on the show.
Coach, I want to say one quick thing. Okay. I just want to say one thing about this, and this is what is great about this show is because unlike SWAC Media Day, because they have to run through the code, we actually ask the questions that the fans want to know. We don't ask this 50,000-foot question. We say, hey, you got this player, you recruited these guys. What are you going to do with them? You tell us the breakdown of what you're going to say. Tell them the playmakers you're going to. You don't get that anywhere else. You get that right here on Coaches Cole, HBCU Coaches Corner with Johnnie Cole, man. Come on.
All right, Coach, we got a caller. Yeah. We got caller from the 214. If you call back here quick, we'll take your call. But we're trying to get out of here. I promise we are. Go ahead, caller 3256. You're live on HBCU Coaches Corner. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, this is Carlos calling from Houston.
From H-Time. What's going on, Carlos? Thank you for calling in.
Yes, sir.
Uh-oh. That's Coach, my place.
Coach Cole.
Yes.
Coach Cole, I got a question. Did TSU have a coaching issue last year, or did they have a personnel issue? Shut up. In your house.
Well, you definitely got to say a coaching issue because you didn't win. What did he win? He went 0-11. What 3-8, 5-6. What is that? We can count that on one hand, can we? and then your fourth year, you started out 0-7. Texas Southern's always had great players.
11 games in 5 years, Coach, I think is the count.
Yeah, and how many Division II and what they played the club team across town. You know that, right? They played the club team across town. Only had 2 buildings on campus. Then they brought a school from California in that hadn't won no games in 2 or 3 years. So I don't even know if you want to
homecoming. You talking about homecoming?
Yeah.
But Coach Cole.
Yes.
But you ain't bringing up that they didn't play Baylor. They didn't play last year. They played Toledo and Rice. They had no business scheduling them 2 games.
Well,
no business at all, right?
So we got. I want to use a word of insufficient coaching. All right, you got a young athletic director as well, who's putting these games on there, because my interest would have been in we need to win football games. Man, then the money we need to put in football. Because Texas Southern paid their coaches more than anybody in the conference, bar none. You're sitting right there in the city of Houston with 2 of the major, largest school systems in the world, probably. Up in Dallas and Tech.
700 Division I players signed annually.
Yeah. So it's no way that you can't win or shouldn't be able to win in Texas Southern. Let's look at my man's background. He was a high school coach at Jake's High School, Jack Yates High School.
Yates.
He was a running back coach at Houston. Anybody knows that the running back coach is the least experienced coach that you put on your staff. Kevin Sumlin Hardy. And then they moved on to Texas A&M, where I think he got a chance to be the coordinator maybe for a game or 2. But that's not big. And then he went on
to coordinator for 1 year.
It wasn't a year. It was in the middle of the year. And then he went on to coach at Arizona for another half a year. And then he came in. He wasn't even ready. I don't know if you listen to his first interview. The first interview he said, I quote, "Yeah, I don't know too much about the football, but I do know about Machine Gun Kelly, and I know about the band." How do you take a job, a perennial losing job, and you talk about the basketball program and the band? That means that you coming into an area you don't know nothing about.
He coming to get that money, Coach.
He ran off with $1.5 million. How many games did he win, Coach?
11.
So then do the math on that. That's 100,000 plus per game.
Per win, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are expensive wins.
It should never be about talent at Texas Southern. Never be about talent. And I know I was a player there, I was assistant coach there, and I was an opponent against them, and I was the head football coach. And all the first 3, I was a loser in all of them until I took over the job. Because I know what it takes. And right. You want to know what else? Now, one of them coaches after me have called me to say, Coach, what did you do? Not one, not the AD, not the head coach, and that's my school. So you tell me, are they interested in winning? If you're interested in winning, you'll call the person that has done it. Do you understand? I'm the only winning coach in 54 years.
Yes, sir. I know.
Yeah. So it's man, we got some problems now. We got some problems.
Now I'm looking at it from the outside looking in, right? They had an opportunity to have a transformational season Andrew Body's sophomore year. You give any coach what Coach McKinley had his transfer year, his sophomore year, going into the fourth quarter, having a 17-point lead to play for a SWAC championship. Any coach in their right mind would take that deal 10 times out of 10. and somehow they fouled it up. And you ask me, is that coaching? It absolutely was coaching. There's no doubt about it. Situationally, they were bad.
That game? Do you know what happened that game, sir? Hello? He clicked off?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
no, I'm still here. Andrew
Okay.
ran the ball. He tried to push the ball over the goal line and got the ball knocked out of his hand. He
Why
tried to
would-
recover, stuck
Right.
his arm out, total labrum.
Right. Why would a second-year starting quarterback up 17 points trying to get an inch when all you got to do is play ball control? Somebody should have told him something, right?
Hey,
Okay.
and let me say this here, Coach, because I don't mean to interrupt you, but there was some guy on the team that led the SWAC in rushing the next year.
Ladarius Davis.
That was,
All right.
yeah, but that was what, a 60, wasn't it like a 45, 60-yard run? It wasn't like he was, that was a long run. That wasn't just no goal line run. That was a long run. If he ran through the end zone, he would have never got hurt.
But I think Coach is talking about situation.
We didn't need points. We needed to eat the clock.
He probably shouldn't have been even carrying the ball.
Right. He just should slide and get down.
Hey.
Once he got that first down,
Coach
he could
Cole.
have slid it. Yes, sir. I'm listening.
Have we ever seen McKinney learn how to eat the clock yet? Look at every game. I mean, I think that's what he always tried to do. And that's what got him caught up. Every game. If you go back and look at every game last year, they lost every game by 1, 2, 3 points.
Here we
Except
go.
for the Grambling game. Trying to eat the clock and to get their butt. And then the second half is all they get beat.
Well, that tells you he don't know what he's doing.
They got the brakes beat off of him by Alabama A&M, didn't they?
Let's go to the Prairie View. Let's go to the Prairie View.
No.
Game. Open up the season. After I lose the A&M, open up the season against Prairie View. Going into the third quarter, how many points we was up? Several. We was up, I think, about 13 or something like
We
that.
was up by, yeah, and I told my friend that's a PV guy next to me, I said, we about to lose.
It's
He
13.
asked me, what you talking about? I said, look,
Yeah.
It
look
was
at the
13 to
sideline.
31, wasn't
Look
it?
at the sideline.
Yeah.
13 to
Now,
31.
Yeah.
now let me ask you this. Do you
I
know
looked at the sideline and
Do you know Ladarius, right? Do you know how many yards
Yeah.
we were averaging per carry that game? Do you know how many
A lot.
yards?
he was averaging by 8, right? Wasn't he by 8?
No, we're averaging 10 yards a carry. You know how many times we threw the ball in the third quarter? 30 times. Why would you take a kid that got a shoulder problem coming back off of an injury and make him throw the ball 30 times and you up 31-13? Come on.
You shouldn't have.
Yeah. And you know what? You know how crazy we are in Texas Southern? I said we, right? So if I've got Texas Southern people listening, I'm a part of it too. I watched that. We were asking for him to get another year. We were pushing for him.
Nah, he couldn't have.
The reason why our coaching situation is messed up is we were waiting because he upset Alcorn. And then we were coming back to see the Pine Bluff game, which he was down 30-something, and they came back and beat him. That's the only way he lost his job. So it ain't nothing. Look, it ain't just the coaching. It's something else going on up
It's
there.
administration.
It's something else going up there. You said it, I did.
Wait a minute, is this the same administration that Fred McNair thought he had a job but didn't have a job? That's that administration?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure.
I'm glad they did that. I don't think Fred McNair was good for Houston.
I was just going to ask you that. How did you feel about that?
I didn't like it. I don't think he fit in well with Houston.
Okay.
He was a winner. He was a winner.
Yeah. When you
They just beat Alcorn 2 years in a row.
3.
Alcorn haven't done that since they came to the West.
3.
How's he a winner?
Yeah, 3
But,
years.
again, if he had got the coaching job, right? Other than Johnnie Cole, he would have been the most successful coach that ever worked at TSU.
Let me say this to you. Hey, what's your name? I'm sorry, sir.
Carlos
Carlos.
Johnson.
Carlos, let me tell you this. So when you go back and talk about Texas Southern people, because I know how they talk crazy. They want to talk. They want to talk about your personal life and all that kind of stuff that don't mean nothing. Here I am. I got a coach, right? I'm going into his last year of the contract, right? He jump off 0-6, something like that. He wins the homecoming. Do I start prepping to get a new coach so I can get a coach in here as soon as the season's over to start recruiting? Or do I wait till the last game that he's going to finish up 2-9? He trying to win it. No, 3-8, coach, because he won homecoming. He beat Alcorn. And I'm going to wait till the last game, Coach Steve, you run a business. You got a mug that ain't selling nothing. You're gonna let him just have your inventory stacked to the wall because he can't say that. Go, man, well, he gonna get it done by the end of this year. No, you cut your losses and start preparing to get a new coach. Who does that? Who does that, Carlos? Who does that?
TSU.
A perennial losing program. And I can talk it because it's my school.
So do you think if this one comes in?
No. I'm still waiting on somebody to call me from there and say, Coach, how did you do it? Do you know how many conversations, Rocky and Steve, when I go home to Houston and I'm sitting up there and they be telling, man, TSU need to do that. I say, yeah. Man, this is what we need to do. I said, yeah. The question should be, Coach, what you think? How do you think we can get this done? 97 years, guys. 97 years the school old. 97 years this year. All right. We got 3 championships, and I got one of those. But I don't know, Carl. You tell me, man. You tell me. My alma mater is so much against me. They so much against me. I don't even understand that, Steve. Rocky, I don't understand it. Boy, you don't got me hot this morning. Go ahead. I mean, this afternoon. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm with you, Coach Cole. I grew up in Houston. Even when I was at TSU, 93, 94, 95, the whole team was Florida.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are they recruiting all these dudes and you got Houston?
That was where Coach Thomas is from. Coach Thomas was from Florida. And let's just talk about Coach Thomas.
No, that was
an okay coach.
No, that was Coach. That was Coach
Highsmith.
Highsmith. That was Highsmith. Highsmith had all the Florida kids there.
Yeah, both of them from Florida. Now you know Highsmith brought in Michael Strahan.
Yeah.
In 1990, Texas Southern, in 1991, Texas Southern had 22 players that signed NFL contracts. I didn't say NFL contracts, Coach. All right. We had Strahan, 3rd rounder, Johnson, 3rd rounder, Joe Burst, 3rd rounder, Brian Wiggins, Joe. I can name them all. Will Moore went on to play for the Jaguars. I can name them all, Coach. Bougie played the Cowboys.
What do you have, 4 wins?
Yeah, Evans played for the Cowboys. He got a championship ring. Yeah. Alberto White went 3rd round to the Oakland Raiders. I can name them all, Coach. And we went 4-7, Coach. We went 4-7. I can name them all, Coach. Coach, these were draft choices, Coach. This wasn't no. So when somebody, even when I played back in the day, Daryl Colbert, Donald Narcisse, Leonard Moon, all these guys, all these Eugene Bradley, Tampa Bay, Carl Williams, all of them went to the played in NFL, Coach. We just didn't win because of poor coaching. Point blank, poor coaching, Coach.
You know, this is what I was saying. I got some inside information from some of the things that were going on at TSU. You had parents feeding the team.
Yeah, they do. They did. Yeah, after practice, they'd bring them snacks and food. Yeah,
that's high school. That's high school. Well, maybe they shouldn't have paid him all that doggone money that they paid. I was making $168,000, Coach. That's being the AD in the football coach. They paid him twice what they paid me. I won more games than he won in my year and a half than he won in 4. Same thing with Mike Haywood. Same thing with Durrell Asper. I won.
You know, when I heard that, I was I was like, you talking about college? Yeah. And you got a father and a mother and an uncle dragging a barbecue pit on the practice field, handing out hot dogs and hamburgers. What
It wasn't like that, Rocky. It wasn't like that, Rocky. They wasn't dragging a barbecue pit out there, Rocky.
Can I tell you why, my man? Carlos, can I tell you why?
That's funny. Go ahead.
Can I tell you why? It's because those guys they hired weren't CEOs. They didn't know how to they didn't know how to put 10 pounds in a 5-pound bag. They come from these big schools and thinking everything is in place and it's not. They hire their staff before they figure out, how much money they got, how much money is in the program. What do I got to do? You see what I'm saying? They don't know how to do that. People didn't like them. I keep telling my Texas Southern folks, ain't no alumni gonna come to no game and see no loser. Not in the city of Houston, when you got the Texans, you got the Rockets, you got the hockey team, you got Baylor down the street, A&M, Sam Houston, HBCU across they only support winners in the city of Houston. And you got to get out.
You forgot top five and top 10 high school matchups every weekend.
Exactly. You got to win. You got to win, baby. You got to win, and you got to get out and meet these people.
And I've said this for many years. This even before I started watching HBCU football. It's a shame that TSU and Prairie View don't dominate in the SWAC, considering the fertile football landscape that they had to choose from.
In all honesty, most Houston kids, they think they are Power 5 level kids. You ask any kid where they want to go, they're going to say Texas, Alabama, Baylor. I live down the street from Marshall High School, the fastest high school in the nation. I guarantee you that. I don't think nobody out there can touch them.
No. But
them kids are going to SEC.
But those kids also go to national champion Sam Houston. They also go to Texas State. They also go to North Texas. And in my opinion, those programs provide more to black kids in the state of Texas. I mean, Prairie View and TSU provide a better experience than any of those colleges I just named for black children, for black kids, black football players.
So we lacking on the money then. That's basically, we still waiting on the weight room to be opened up at TSU. Right, Coach Cole?
Yeah, I heard it was just open, but you just gotta get out, and out and sell the program. You gotta believe in the program. You can't stay locked up over in your office. You know what I mean? You gotta hire a personality, a Houston Texan personality over there that knows what they're doing, that knows the ins and outs. And I hear people. It sickens me when I'm around people and they telling me what the program needs. They telling me this is how we gonna turn it around. I know how to turn it around. You know what I mean? I just, we that's what we need. That's what we need. And I just don't know. I think Texas Southern is in a Republican state, and I just think that the people that they hire over there just want to keep it in that place. I really think that, man, because we don't have too many greats that walk through there, and they have made a mistake, like President Slade, President Lane. You know what I mean? That have done and were doing some great things for that university. And we can't keep a president.
They got him up out of there. They get him up out of there quick.
How many presidents we don't have since I've been there, Coach? 15? You know what I mean? How many ADs we don't have? How many head football coaches we don't have? It's crazy, Coach. You can't build nothing with you won't have no continuity.
So this comment right here, and I'm gonna let Bishop Campbell speak to this one. And I believe the gentleman is talking about me overrating the HBCU experience that exists at PV and TSU. Right? Am I overselling it?
Well, I think, this is where I think it cuts both ways. And I think he's saying you can't keep overrating the experience in 2024. For certain people, and this is what I'll say this for the kids at the Power 5, right? They come back down to our level. And I'll use James Houston he's a perfect example of that. He was at University of Florida, one of the powerhouse programs, everything for everything you needed. He came to Jackson State and he said, hey, man, this is different. This experience is different than me playing in front of 90,000 folks in the SEC at Florida, okay? So that experience does mean something. I think what we have to do is balance the experience out with also investing in our own. So listen to what the coach just said and what Carlos just said. Hey, man, we just got the weight room open up if we think it's open. Now, I want people to understand that Texas Southern is not a broke school. Do y'all understand they have one of the best law schools in the country? They have judges, pharmacy. They have one of the best business schools. So their alumni is alumni, okay? So the money ain't a problem. So the question is that I'll challenge Texas Southern alumni is also what are you doing to when you see a Coach Cole say, hey, Coach Cole, we're going to put together this NIL collective and we want you to help build this. And you tell us the 5 things we need to build this program so we can go identify a coach. Okay, coach, you know what? You help us identify a coach that can build this program, that's going to sell this program. Because see, the one thing, and Rocky, you're in Texas, and I went to Texas a lot, and Texas is like Florida to me. You've got a lot of those big schools, and this is what happened to FAMU for a while. These kids grow up rooting for Florida State, Miami, and Florida, right? FAMU's over on the side. Down in Texas, those kids grow up going to Texas A&M, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then they don't get exposure. FAMU had to get louder in their recruiting. You see what I'm saying? We had to get louder. Hey, man, you come to FAMU, you're going to enjoy the experience. But we also had to make sure that the rest of it was quality. We had the academics. We got the girls. Now we build the program. So that's what Texas Southern needs to mean. That's what Texas Southern needs to do is they got to utilize what they got and then go back to that alumni that's out there coaching and say, first of all, you got to have that figure like Coach Cole. Because Coach Cole shows you, hey, I can win 9 games and win a championship.
They don't even have to hire me as a head coach, but make me involved. Quit trying to make Strahan involved. Strahan is way gone. You know what I mean? He way up there, and we want him up there so he can be a celebrity and be in the club. I was on the staff coaching Strahan, but we're so in Texas Southern, man. We're a different breed, man. We're a different breed, coach. We're a different breed. Yeah.
You guys are got what I can see, but this goes back to I see something similar. The coach, I think you said, and that's what Coach McKinney saying. Well, I know about the basketball team and the band.
Yeah.
Well, see, this goes back to again the alumni have to care. It's the same thing with FAMU. You see all this stuff going on basketball because we don't care about basketball, but you see the other hell that we raised when it came to football. I'm gonna tell you, hold on, I got to just make this quick point. We got a coach at FAMU that they don't even want to pay $150,000. When Willie was going to do, we raised $150,000 in 10 hours. Okay? So the money is not the problem.
Yeah.
If you care. So that's why I would challenge Texas Southern, because Texas Southern and Prairie View should be powerhouses. Southern and Grambling should be powerhouses. Jackson State should be a powerhouse. FAMU should be a power because those states produce players.
Yeah.
You know, to your point, and I want to bring up the state of Alabama for this reason. There's no reason why the state of Alabama should be one of the best football schools, should have one of the best football schools in the nation, one of the best programs to ever exist. There's no reason. When you look at the numbers in the state, the number of football players they produce, look at the population of the state, there's no way they should be that way. But I'll tell you this, the people in Alabama care more. They care more. They're willing to invest more. They're willing to do more. They're willing to show up more. They're willing to pay more. And that's why they get the results that they get. Because like you said, they care more.
And they hired a coach that they supported, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Nick Saban had more violations than any coach in America. They didn't care about that. They cared about winning, coach. Winning. We can get through that, but we're going to make sure that we win. So
They don't care about how many wives the coach done had. They don't even care about how many DUIs he done got. They don't care about none of that, coach.
none of that. And they gonna have more students.
Well, no, wait a minute. I gotta hold on now. They cared in Arkansas because my boy was riding around there on that motorcycle with his side chick and fell off that motorcycle. They fired his ass. Wait a minute. The coach from Hugh. What's my man? The coach down there. The coach. Yeah, right. But hold on. But wait a minute. But hold on. The coach from Ole Miss is now at Auburn. His ass was riding there calling hookers on the 1-900 number. They got rid of that. So don't say they don't care now. They'll get rid of you too.
But he has a head coaching job, and he's the head coach of Auburn now.
Time out. You know where he left when he went from Ole Miss? You know what his punishment was? $4 million at Liberty College. He went to Liberty. Now he's back in Auburn. They don't care about that, coach. They care about wins and losses, man.
And coach, let me ask you this. Hugh Freeze's problem was he wasn't winning enough. Petrino's problem was he wasn't winning enough. Had he won a national championship, him falling off that motorcycle with that side chick wouldn't have been a problem. Had Hugh Freeze been the SEC champion, him calling those hookers wouldn't have been a problem.
Hey, man, listen, I'm going to say this because I'm not going to say no coach's name out of respect for anybody. But if I'm the coach of Florida A&M and I win a celebration bowl, them folks are fam, you ain't going to give a damn. I got 3 wives. So come on, man. It's all relative. I can have 3 wives and 1 in Jackson. But then I go visit her when we play Jackson State. They wouldn't care if I win a championship. That go for anybody, baby. That go for anybody. Okay?
All right. Hey, man, we gonna get out of here, man. Yeah. Me and my family, we headed somewhere, man. We got to hit the road, man. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. We didn't have Coach Joseph along, and we was going to get out of here real quick. But like it always happens to us, man, we get in those rabbit holes, I guess, and we have a great time together, man. I want to thank everybody for continuing to support the program. Make sure you go in the description, select Rocky Miller's YouTube, and subscribe to HBCU Coaches Corner. We desperately need your support. We also got a lot of big announcements coming up next week. A lot of big announcements next week. Coach got some things brewing. He got some things percolating. You hear me? And you guys are a part of you're a part of what's going on, man. And I just want to thank you guys. And Steve, before we get out of here, and then Coach, I'll let y'all say last words, man. But I want to sincerely thank y'all for supporting us and following us. And make sure you like, subscribe, and comment.
Hey, I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to challenge to all my HBCU people out there, especially the younger people out there. If you want your team to be great, it costs to be the boss. The one thing, Rocky, people try to fact check me, but the one thing, like I say, you see this big old check right here? I cut checks because I want family to be successful. If you want to have a winning program, hey, man, you got to cut a check. Don't talk about it. Don't be on Twitter. Don't be in these chats. Send your school some money because guess what? One thing about rallies, when we send money, we talk loud. Send your school some money.
Strike, and strike again. Well, hey, man, as always, guys, I'm going to talk about
My name is JM&E, and I won $500 on the lunch money for keeping up with the Jonas Bracket Challenge.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.